Now, BIM is not IPD. You can do BIM without IPD. It's very difficult to do IPD without BIM. This came from the guide developed by the California Council of the AIA back in 2007, and it was one of the things that guided the AIA Documents Committee as it was developing the documents for IPD. BIM will change your practice. BIM really has a major impact on what you do as a design firm or a construction manager. Part of it is that the use of the information, the whole interoperability, how you can use the same information for many, many things, all the way from preliminary design to facilities management. It really impacts what an instrument of service is. Instrument of service is really a term developed by the American Institute of Architects to keep what architects were doing from being considered products. Plans and specifications were not, those deliverables were not products. They were just instruments of the architect's service. And that term has been used throughout the industry for decades now. And BIM really has an impact on what constitutes an instrument of service. The idea of ownership of information, intellectual property, the copyright to project records, plan specifications, the archiving of that information, that all changes dramatically with BIM. The other issue that I think will be coming in the near future is the whole idea of licensed design professionals. And licensing statutes tend to talk about things like responsible charge or direct supervision, targets the design professional with that responsibility. And that really starts to change when you look at how that information is being shared, who's contributing at what stage to that information, how the levels of development are being added to throughout the process. And whether or not an architect or an engineer is the party actually in responsible charge or in direct supervision of all that is necessary for a project to come together is a question I think states will have to look at in the future. The standard of care for professionals, again, a major impact there. We have not yet seen, but I'm sure we will in the future, a claim against a design professional that alleges that the design professional was negligent because the design professional did not use building information modeling. Because of the clash detection and other attributes of building information modeling, it may very well be that an owner who is harmed will claim that it's at the point now where that's part of the standard of care. And if you don't use BIM, you are indeed negligent. Again, we haven't seen a case like that. I'm sure they'll be coming. We'll talk about standard of care a bit more in a minute. And BIM really looks at a relationship of parties in the design and construction process. That's what aids IPD. The concurrent design authority of parties, how they input all this information, the construction use of it, simulations and other programs to help build a design. That relationship really changes and will change how you practice.